When God is about to give you something big, you will see signs. Not just ordinary signs. Signs that shake you, test you, stretch you, and prepare you for the very thing you've been praying for. And here's the truth: most people miss them because they're too focused on the pain, too focused on the loss, too focused on the confusion to see that it's actually a setup. God never sends blessings unprepared. He never drops big assignments into small, unprepared hearts. So when he is about to give you something big, he gives you the signs first, 7 of them. And if you're wise enough to see them, strong enough to endure them, and patient enough to wait through them, you will step into the kind of breakthrough that will change your life forever. The first sign you'll see is isolation. Suddenly, the people who used to be in your circle no longer fit. The invitations stop coming. The phone goes silent. The ones you thought would walk with you for life seem to drift away. And you sit there asking yourself, what did I do wrong? But it's not about what you did wrong. It's about what God is doing right. He is pulling you back, removing the noise, taking you away from distractions, because big blessings can't be handled in crowded spaces. Think about it. Seeds don't grow in the middle of the street. They grow in hidden soil, away from eyes, away from noise, covered in dirt. That's you. God covers you, buries you, and for a while it feels like loneliness. But what looks like burial is actually planting. That isolation is not rejection. It is preparation. The second sign you'll see is resistance. Doors that should have opened will slam shut. Opportunities that look perfect will suddenly vanish. People who promise to help will suddenly walk away. And your mind will start to doubt, maybe I'm not good enough. Maybe this isn't for me. Maybe I was wrong all along. But let me tell you something, the resistance is proof. Resistance only shows up when something is worth fighting for. Nobody fights over empty ground. Nobody tries to block you from going nowhere. Resistance is confirmation that there's something powerful on the other side of the push. And here's the thing: God allows that resistance so you can build spiritual muscle. He allows that no, so when the yes finally comes, you'll have the strength to hold it. Don't despise resistance. Thank God for it. Because if he let everything flow easy, you wouldn't be ready for the weight of what's coming. The third sign is inner stirring. You can't explain it, but you feel it. Something in your spirit says more. You look at where you are, and even though it's comfortable, something inside whispers, this isn't it. There's more in you. That's not restlessness. That's revelation. That's God telling you that your current chapter is closing. And this stirring can feel frustrating because the people around you may not understand. They're content, but you're unsettled. They're satisfied, but you feel a pull. And you start asking, why can't I just be happy like everyone else? Because you weren't built for average. You weren't made to settle. You were created for greater, and when God is about to release something big, he places a divine dissatisfaction in you. It doesn't mean you're ungrateful. It means you're being prepared to stretch. It's like a bird in a cage, comfortable, safe, protected. But once the wings are fully grown, the cage feels small. That's the stirring. That's God telling you it's time to fly. The fourth sign is unusual provision. Doors start opening in places you never expected. People you barely know start speaking into your life. Resources appear out of nowhere. Money you didn't plan for shows up just when you need it. This isn't coincidence, it's alignment. God always funds his vision. If he gives you a calling, he will give you the resources to carry it. And you'll notice when something big is about to come, you won't have to chase after every opportunity. Some of them will chase you. And you'll stand there wondering, why me? Why now? Where did this come from? That's God showing you that he is your source, not man, not your job, not your connections. You could lose it all and still be sustained because when it's God's hand that provides, no one can cut it off. The fifth sign is exposure. Suddenly, things and people around you start revealing their true colors. Fake friends slip up and show you their real face. Hidden motives come to light. The people you thought were for you, you find out they were only with you for what they could get. And though it hurts, you need to understand exposure is protection. God will never let you walk into your next season blind. He removes the masks, even if it breaks your heart, because he knows those same people would sabotage your blessing if they entered with you. And it's not just about people, it's also about habits. He'll expose the behaviors you've ignored. He'll bring up patterns you've been avoiding. Suddenly, things you used to tolerate will irritate you. You can't laugh at the same jokes. You can't indulge in the same habits. That's exposure. That's God cutting off what can't grow with you. Don't cling to what he exposes. Release it. Because whatever he reveals, he intends to heal. The sixth sign is testing. And this is the one most of us want to skip. You'll be tested in patience, in faith, in character, in integrity. It will feel like everything is going wrong at the worst possible time. But tests aren't designed to break you. They're designed to prove you. You don't give a car keys to a child. You don't hand a sharp sword to someone who doesn't know how to wield it. God tests you because what he's about to release requires maturity. That blessing you've been praying for, it's weighty, it's heavy. And if you can't stay faithful in the waiting room, you won't survive the throne room. Think about it. Before David became king, he faced lions, bears, and Goliath. Those weren't random fights, those were tests. And every test prepared him for the crown. Every time you feel like life is testing you, it's because God is measuring your readiness. Pass the test. Don't quit in the middle. Don't complain your way through it. Stand firm, because every test is an announcement. Something big is on the horizon. And then comes the seventh sign, peace. The kind of peace that makes no sense. Everything around you might still be chaotic. The bills are still due. The future is still unclear. The storm hasn't fully passed. But inside, there's a calm. There's a voice that says, it's handled. That's not denial. That's divine peace. That's God whispering, you're ready now. The fight didn't break you. The isolation didn't destroy you. The resistance didn't stop you. The exposure didn't blind you. The testing didn't defeat you. You're ready for what I have next. And when you feel that peace, you'll know it. Because it won't come from anything you can explain. It won't be because of circumstances. It will be in spite of them. That's the final sign before the breakthrough. Peace that passes all understanding. Peace that anchors you while the blessing comes rushing in. So if you're in isolation right now, don't despise it. If you're facing resistance, don't fear it. If you feel a stirring, don't suppress it. If provision is showing up, don't doubt it. If things are being exposed, don't fight it. If you're being tested, don't run from it. And if peace settles over you, don't ignore it. These 7 signs are not random. They are signals. They are markers. They are God's way of saying, I'm about to do something in your life that eyes haven't seen, ears haven't heard, and hearts can't even imagine. And let me remind you, big blessings don't show up in easy seasons. They show up after pruning, after pressure, after stretching, after testing. You're not losing, you're being positioned. You're not abandoned, you're being aligned. Every single thing you've been walking through is shaping you for the very thing you've been asking for. That's why you can't give up now. That's why you can't throw in the towel. Because the closer you get, the more intense the signs will be. That's not punishment, that's confirmation. The pressure you feel right now is proof that delivery is near. And sometimes God gives you these signs not just to prepare you, but to protect you from misinterpreting the blessing when it comes. Because if you didn't go through the isolation, you would think the blessing was man-made. If you didn't face the resistance, you would think it came easy. If you didn't feel the stirring, you would have settled where you are. If you didn't see the provision, you would think it was your hustle alone. If he didn't expose, you would carry poison into your next season. If he didn't test you, you would collapse under the weight of responsibility. And if he didn't give you peace, you would sabotage your own breakthrough with fear. So every sign matters. Every sign has purpose. And every sign is pointing to one truth: something big is on the way. And the closer you get, the more it will feel like the very ground beneath your feet is shaking. You'll wonder why everything is unstable, why relationships are shifting, why plans that felt secure suddenly collapse. And you'll be tempted to panic, tempted to grab control, tempted to hold on to the familiar. But let me tell you, when God is about to give you something big, he doesn't build it on shaky ground. He shakes the ground first to reveal what can't last, so that when he lays the foundation of your blessing, it will stand strong. The shaking is not to destroy you, it's to secure you. It's to make sure that when your blessing arrives, it doesn't sink under the weight of instability. You will feel the stretching, and stretching is uncomfortable. It's not supposed to feel good. It pulls you beyond what you thought you could handle. It takes you past your limits, but that's the only way capacity grows. You can't hold a gallon in a cup-sized container. So God stretches you. He lets you face situations that feel bigger than you, challenges that feel overwhelming, responsibilities that seem too heavy. And you prayed, why me? Why now? Why this? And he whispers, because I'm enlarging you for what's coming. If I gave it to you now, you'd drop it. But if I stretch you now, you'll carry it later. Don't run from the stretch. Don't fight it. It's proof that your capacity is growing. And let's be honest, sometimes the signs don't look like signs at all. They look like chaos. They look like betrayal. They look like disappointment. But hidden inside them is direction. God doesn't always show you the map. Sometimes he shows you closed doors so you won't walk the wrong way. Sometimes he shows you heartbreak so you'll stop holding onto something that would have destroyed you later. Sometimes he lets you feel empty so you'll stop trying to fill yourself with things that were never meant to sustain you. The pain has purpose. The confusion has instruction. The chaos has clarity hidden in it if you're willing to trust him long enough to see it unfold. And when you're on the verge of something big, pay attention to the small nudges. That quiet voice telling you to stop entertaining that relationship. That sudden conviction when you're about to make a choice you know doesn't align. That strong sense that you need to slow down, that you need to prepare, that you need to let go of something. Don't ignore those nudges. They are whispers of God. They are warnings that something big is near, and you can't afford to carry the wrong baggage into your next season. You don't get to board a plane with extra weight, and you don't get to step into destiny carrying unnecessary burdens. That's why he nudges. That's why he convicts. That's why he presses your heart to release what feels comfortable but is actually harmful. You may also notice the increase of opposition from unexpected places. People who never had a problem with you suddenly start criticizing. Individuals who once supported you now seem to compete with you. And it leaves you scratching your head, wondering, where did this come from? Don't get distracted. Don't let offense steal your focus. The moment you rise higher, resistance rises with you. That's why the heat in the kitchen gets hotter when the meal is almost done. The enemy doesn't waste energy fighting people who are going nowhere. He fights the ones who are about to disrupt his territory. If the opposition increased, it's because your influence is about to increase too. Don't give energy to petty battles. Don't fight to prove yourself to people who can't see what God is doing in you. Keep your eyes forward. And while all these signs are happening, you'll notice your prayer life starts to change. You won't pray the same prayers. You won't just ask for things. You'll ask for wisdom. You'll ask for strength. You'll ask for discernment. And that's a sign in itself, because when God shifts your prayers, he's preparing your posture. He's showing you that this next season isn't about material things. It's about character, about vision, about carrying the weight of destiny. You'll wake up in the middle of the night with a hunger to pray. You'll feel the urge to fast, to separate yourself, to draw nearer to him. That's not random. That's divine preparation, because big blessings require deep roots, and roots are grown in prayer. And here's what makes these signs so challenging. You won't get a timeline. God won't tell you, on this day at this hour, your blessing will arrive. No. He asks you to trust him in the dark. He asks you to believe when you can't see. He asks you to keep walking when the road ahead looks foggy. And that uncertainty can feel heavy. But it's in the waiting that faith grows. It's in the not knowing that trust is refined. Because if he gave you every detail, you wouldn't need faith. If he showed you every step, you wouldn't lean on him. Faith is built in the silence, in the gaps, in the unanswered prayers. So if you're waiting and it feels endless, remember, it's not wasted. God is working behind the scenes, and when it's time, it will happen suddenly. Suddenly, the call comes. Suddenly, the opportunity opens. Suddenly, the breakthrough arrives. You'll wait for years and then watch it happen in a moment. That's how he works. And when it happens, it won't just bless you, it will bless others. Because God doesn't give big blessings for selfish gain. He gives them so you can be a vessel. He raises you up so you can lift others. He provides for you so you can provide for someone else. He gives you influence so you can use it to impact lives. So don't be surprised if, while you're waiting, he sends you opportunities to serve. Don't overlook the little ways he asks you to give, to help, to encourage. Because those small assignments are training you for the big one. If you can't be faithful with small acts of kindness, how will you steward great responsibility? Your blessing is not just about you, it's about every life connected to you. And let me remind you, when God is about to do something big, the enemy will try to distract you with shortcuts, quick fixes, easy escapes. Counterfeits. He will present opportunities that look like the blessing but lack the peace. They'll shine bright, but they won't last, and you'll be tempted to grab them, especially if the waiting feels long. But hear me, don't settle for imitation when God promised you the real thing. Counterfeits always come before the genuine. The wrong person shows up before the right one. The lesser opportunity appears before the greater one. That's not coincidence, that's a test. God is asking, will you trust me enough to wait? Will you let go of what looks good so I can give you what is great? Don't let impatience rob you of destiny. The counterfeit always costs more than it's worth. And when you look back later, you'll realize why the signs had to come first. You'll see how isolation grew your focus, how resistance built your strength, how stirring pushed you out of comfort, how provision reminded you of God's faithfulness, how exposure saved you from betrayal, how testing refined your character, how peace anchored your soul. You'll see it wasn't random. You'll see it was orchestrated. And you'll stand in the blessing, tears in your eyes, realizing that every tear, every loss, every silent night, every unanswered prayer, it was all part of the plan. And in that moment, you'll know that God never abandoned you. He was preparing you. And here's something you need to hear. When God is about to give you something big, your language will change. You won't speak the same way. You won't gossip like you used to. You won't complain the way you once did. You'll start speaking life. You'll start declaring hope. You'll start aligning your words with where you're going, not where you've been. Because your tongue is powerful, and God will not place a blessing in a mouth that curses its own future. That's why He convicts you about your words. That's why you suddenly feel uneasy when you're negative, because He's training your language for the level you're about to step into. And if you're wondering right now, am I in that season? Are these signs around me? Listen to your spirit. Pay attention, because you already know. You feel it. You've sensed the shift. You've noticed the changes. You've felt the shaking. That's not your imagination. That's confirmation. And the fact that you're hearing these words right now is no accident. It's a reminder that God hasn't forgotten you, that the waiting isn't in vain, that the signs you're experiencing aren't punishment, they're preparation. So don't despise the season you're in. Don't curse the process. Don't believe the lie that nothing is happening, because something is happening, something big. And if you hold on, if you stay faithful, if you keep walking even when it feels like nothing is moving, you'll step into it. And when you do, you'll understand why you had to go through every single sign before the blessing came. So if you're standing in the middle of isolation, if resistance is pressing against you, if your spirit is restless, if provision is showing up in unexpected places, if masks are being pulled off, if the testing feels unbearable, and if an unexplainable peace is holding you together, then hear me clearly. You are closer than you think. You are not being punished. You are being prepared. You are not being delayed. You are being developed. God is not ignoring you. He is positioning you. And when the fullness of time comes, the blessing that arrives will not only silence your doubts, it will silence every lie that told you it would never happen. Stay faithful in the shaking. Stay strong in the stretching. Stay patient in the waiting. Because when God is about to give you something big, the signs will be undeniable, the breakthrough will be unstoppable, and the testimony will be unforgettable. Your waiting has not been wasted. Your pain has not been pointless. Every sign has been leading you here. And what is coming next will be greater than what you lost, stronger than what you endured, and bigger than what you prayed for. Hold on. Trust Him. Because the signs don't lie. Your blessing is already on the way.